Okay, so the Inspector General has released the unclassified version of the DoD report on UFOs. So, yeah, everybody is talking about this. We've got an article from Bloomberg, we've got one from the Daily Mail, one from Politico. So let's just go over the actual report. The unclassified summary of the report, which is the classified version, was delivered in August, and this is the unclassified version of it. Finally, it goes over the historical background, and it does reference OSAP. So if there was any doubt that OSAP was a thing, put that to bed. And it says, since OSAP, the DoD has attempted to establish several programs for coordinating DoD-wide UAP reporting. So OSAP did look into UAP, if there was any doubt of that. In but none of the other programs were ever fully implemented. Important to note, in 2020, as a result of increased concerns of flight crew safety, national security, and adversary technology advances, Congress directed the DoD through the NDAA to develop a formal interagency entity to study, collect, and report on UAP. AARO. Yay, AARO. I actually believe AARO was founded in the best of intentions, but it was quickly co-opted by the control group. Unfortunately, the objective of this evaluation was to determine the extent to which the DoD, military services, defense agencies, and military department counterintelligence organizations took intelligence, counterintelligence, and force protection actions to detect, report, collect, analyze, and identify UAP. Then it goes over the background, and it's all very dry. I've read it, but it is very dry. And then it gets to the executive orders. It's all very dry. Here's the meat of it. The DoD does not have a comprehensive, coordinated approach to address UAP. We reviewed the DoD's policies, procedures, and actions for detecting, reporting, collecting, analyzing, and identifying UAP, and determined that, among other things, the DoD has not used a coordinated approach to detect them or report them. The DoD components have largely excluded geographic combatant commands, which are responsible for detecting, deterring, and preventing threats and attacks. DoD components develop varying processes to collect, analyze, and identify UAP incidents. As a result, the DoD may not have developed a comprehensive and coordinated strategy for understanding, identifying, and protecting against a UAP that may present a safety threat to military personnel in territory. But wait, didn't Sean Kirkpatrick say there had never been any collisions and they weren't a risk? What? You can't go against the lovely Dr. Sean Kirkpatrick. The DoD has not issued a comprehensive UAP response plan. The DoD components have largely excluded geographic combatant commands. DoD components developed varying processes to detect and report UAP. The DoD's lack of a comprehensive, coordinated approach to address UAP may pose a threat to military forces in U.S. national security. Okay, recommendation 1. And it gets into a list of recommendations, and I'm not going to go through them all. Again, it's very dry. But we recommend that the Undersecretary of Defense for Intelligence and Security, in coordination with AARO, issue a Department of Defense policy to integrate UAP roles, responsibilities, requirements, and coordination procedures into existing intelligence, counterintelligence, and force protection policies and procedures. The policy should include methods to address UAP incidents and should align with policies and procedures for the protection of the U.S. person's civil liberties. Undersecretary of Defense for Intelligence and Security in AARO. The Undersecretary of Defense for Intelligence and Security, that is this fellow right here, Ronald Moultrie, Heckle. I call him, there was Heckle and Jekyll, Bray and Moultrie, that gave the first UFO hearing to Congress, and just lied their asses off. Ronald Moultrie clearly, in my mind, is an agent of the UFO control group. It's not great to really go to him for anything except more obfuscation. But they did. Ronald Moultrie agreed with the recommendation. He noted that the findings that inform the recommendation appear to be based on observations that largely predate the establishment of AARO. He's saying, AARO, now that we have AARO, it's all handled. And our response, comments from Moultrie, fully addressed the recommendation. Therefore, the recommendation is resolved but open. And it goes through recommending, procedures and, integrating existing methods and means for UAP. It goes through the various, the Navy and Secretary of the Air Force. And it's interesting, the Secretary of the Air Force did not provide official comments for inclusion in this report, as we requested in our draft. However, the Strategic Programs and Policy Associate Director, the Secretary of the Air Force Inspector General, responding for the Secretary of the Air Force, provided us informal comment stating, in coordination with the OSI and our SAF/IGX Special Investigations Directorate, Deputy Director, we concur without comment and look forward to the final published report. It seemed like the Air Force is being a little bit less forthcoming. It just goes over all the recommendations they're making and, how resolved each recommendation is. And, usually it will say fully addressed. So, not a whole lot, I didn't expect much, and I didn't get much from the unclassified version. Maybe it looks like they are, trying to establish protocols for doing all this stuff, and I guess they might. Of course, somebody has been doing this for many years, descending upon UFO crashes almost instantly, covering up UFO incidents almost instantly. Somebody's been doing this. Witness Citizen says, my synopsis of the report says, ALSAP officially studied UAP. Yeah, they did. The government lied. I don't know if it actually said that. Air Force busted for lying. Well, they like I just read, they didn't comply as well as the others did. DOD dropped the ball. Yeah, it did. It basically did say the DOD dropped the ball. Oops, AARO still hasn't done their job. Oops, the U.S. is vulnerable. Whoops. Thanks, Lou Elizondo, for getting this rolling. That's right. Hats off to Lou. So it's a lot of nothing. Basically, like I just said, they're trying to develop systems for identifying and analyzing a UAP, and looks like they are making some progress doing that. At least at in the mainstream level, at the deeper levels, obviously they've been doing this for many years, but we need the mainstream government to be doing this so that hopefully us in the public can find out what the hell they're doing, at least part of it. Obviously, this is the declassified version. I would be very curious to see what was in the classified version. Probably not that juicier, but maybe a little juicier with some interesting stuff in there. Who knows? But there you go, guys. The declassified version of the report. So